Bbrosef.
Thank you so much, Higgy. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful first day. My name is Alnak, and today I'm going to show you this game, Star Wars Jedi Knight Mistress of the Sith, the little sister of the Jedi Knight / Dark Forces series. Perhaps not as popular as Jedi Outcast or Jedi Academy, but nonetheless, this is still a very good run, and I'm going to walk you guys over most of the tricks and tech that we use in this run. But first, as a way of introduction, I'm going to show you the main speed tech that we use in this run.
Seems like they don't
This is, you haven't seen this before, this is a shooter. This is a first-person shooter where you have, it's a combination where you run-of-the-mill shooter from the 90s combined with force powers and lightsaber combat. And the former is going to be really important for the run because we have a few force powers that are going to make us go really fast through the levels. The first one is going to be force speed, this one that is self-explanatory, as the name implies, it makes you go faster. We also have force jump that allows us to jump higher, and we also have explosive boosting, like this. So we can actually go to jump to higher. And that's pretty much the main mechanics that we use in the run. This game starts crazy from the get-go. There's going to be several skips like right away, so I need to like set the setting for you guys. All right, so let's jump into the game. So these are the two characters we're going to be playing with, Kyle Katarn and Mara Jade. The first few levels we're going to play with Kyle Katarn, who this happened right after the events of Dark Forces 2, the first Jedi game. So Kyle is a full-fledged Jedi, so we're going to use like most of our force powers that we have at our disposal right away. And that's going to make possible the very first skip of the run, which is going to be more like show don't tell kind of thing. I want you guys to pay attention to what's going to happen in a few seconds. All right, let's begin this. So I'm going to give you the countdown. This run is going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so the first thing we can do here is that we need to trigger a pull-out level. That's going to trigger an event where a ship is going to show up here, a TIE bomber. And what we can do here is we can jump right into this thing, right one of the wings, and we can just land over here. Thank you very much. And right in front of there, where the Imperial shuttle is, that's going to be the end of the level. And that's level 1. Also, I grabbed here a rocket launcher that, as I said before, we can use as a explosive boosting. So this is the first screen. We can start leveling up force powers. We're going to max out force speed and force jump, the powers that I introduced to you guys. That's going to be the main ones for the run. And now we are in level 2. So level 2 is going to be very important. There's another couple of skips that we had to do. And the first one is like right over here, this rocket jump, and which is kind of very hard trying to get the timing off. This is going to allow us to escape an elevator section that's over there. And that's the second skip. And now the first skip is right here in the sledge. So we need to go to the other side down below there, and we're not supposed to. So we can do here is try to do like that. What happens here is that if we start falling, it starts playing like a falling animation that the developers put there in order to make that fall. But what we can do here is to align ourselves, try to do a rocket boost like this, and we can go to the other side without problem. And the reason for that is that the rocket boost, it kind of resets the timer in which this animation starts playing. So that gives us enough time to try to land in the floor, to the other side. All right, so that's welcome to Mistress of the Sith. This is the run where if you want to get a good time in this game, you have to like pull off 3 hard skips back to back in less than a minute. But fortunately, the run is going to mellow down a little bit right now. There's going to be a couple of levels where we can just run, which we can just finish in the intended way. But by no means that's going to be easier because there's going to be a bunch of movement that I had to do. So in these games, it is not required for you to kill enemies in order to progress the levels, unfortunately. But the downside of that is that there are gonna be a bunch of enemies that are gonna start shooting towards me, and even stormtroopers, they can land some really nasty shots at me. All right, so I need to clear this path. So there are several objectives here that I need to like clear, and I have to go back and forth across the level. There's gonna be like a lot of backtracking involved, which means that I'm gonna run into a bunch of enemies that are gonna start shooting me, and worst of all, they're gonna start body blocking me, and that's another problem. So the way hitboxes works in this game is that the hitbox won't go away as soon as I hit a killing blow in an enemy. Oh, I got shot. That was really bad. Luckily, I saved there. They don't go away as soon as I do the killing blow in an enemy. So there's like a dead animation that starts playing out, and I need to wait for it to finish in order for the hitbox to go away. So it's really cool. It's better for you to try to jump over enemies or try to get around them. Like for example, there I had to wait for the animation to end in order to move, in order to continue with it, go inside the room. And that's the third level. We're finishing really quickly. Nice. I'm gonna show you a cool thing here. I'm gonna try to kill myself like this. You might think that that means that I cannot finish the level. Well, in this game, you can actually finish levels even when you are dead, and that's gonna be that's a mechanic that's very dominant. You see a lot in the speedruns of the base game, Jedi Knight 1, but in the expansion, I'm gonna use it as well to do one minor skip in the run. All right. So we are now in level 4. This is going to be the very last level where we play as Kyle Katarn. Now we're going to switch to Mara Jade. And there's going to be a very cool skip here that we can do. I like to call it force smuggling, because what we're going to do is that we're going to transfer a force power from Kyle to Mara Jade in the next level. So what happens is that at the beginning of the next level, there's going to be like a half a second where the game makes the transition of force powers from Kyle to Mara. And what happens is that if I transition through the levels really quickly by skipping the menuing and the cutscene right away, I have like half a second to use Kyle's force powers right when I start the next level with Mara Jade. So I'm gonna try to do that glitch. And if I don't get it, I can just retry it. But for the time being, we're just swimming here. This is another level, as I said, that you have to like run through normally. There's going to be more skips later on. Explosive boosting SSC is really important in this run. This is kind of similar to runs like Quake or Half-Life. This is another engine though. That's only been used in this game and also in the base game, Dark Forces 2. All right, so now we're gonna set up the glitch dimension, the force smuggling. We're gonna, as I said before, we're gonna try to smuggle Kyle's force powers to Mara Jade, so we can start the next level super quickly. There's a cool thing we can do here. There's a shuttle that's gonna come all the way down. You have to wait until it lands over here in order to finish the level. But there's one more rock and jump to hit the trigger like right away, like this, and then we do a force jump, and there we go. So now I have to do a transition here. Let's see if I get it. Okay, I think I got it. And there we go. So now I have Kyle's force powers with Mara Jade. And it's only useful at the beginning of this level where I can use force speed level 4. That's Kyle's force speed level 4. And I can just fly through this section, which is way faster than running normally. Now, we are playing with Mara Jade. Very popular character from the Star Wars Extended Universe. She was a former agent of the Emperor who started learning the ways of the Force, and she eventually marries Luke Skywalker, and they have a kid together. And that's still headcanon to me. That's what happened, not what the movies retold. All right, so we're gonna infiltrate this palace. I took a disguise here. I had the disguise of a Great Tusken, and I need to try to infiltrate this palace. So there's a little thing that's gonna pop up here. It's gonna try to check me out. Just ignore there's a couple of enemies there, and also I'm carrying a purple light tube here. I think we're in the clear. Yeah, I think we are good. Nice. So now we can just move through the levels. And now I'm moving normally without force speed, because what happens is that when we transition through characters, Mara Jade doesn't have any force powers. We only have force jump and these two powers that are not really useful in this level at least. So we need to start leveling up force powers. The first task in hand is trying to level up force powers. And the way we're gonna do that is by unlocking secret areas across these levels. So each level has different secret areas in which you can find a bunch of regen and ammunition ammo that in a casual playthrough, it makes it way more easier to finish the levels. But in addition to that, we can also use it to, every time you find all the secrets in a level, we are granted force points, which are the main currency that we use to level up force powers. So if I find all the secret areas in this level, I'm gonna be able to max out force jump and max out force speed and reach force jump level 3. Here's another secret. Technically, this is a time loss because we're doing a bunch of detours, but I'm gonna make up that time loss really quickly in the next level because it's really important, imperative for you to try to unlock the force speed and force jump like right away. All right, so now we're coming towards a nightmare of a skip. It's not because it's super execution-wise, it's because it's completely RNG or luck-based. There's a door that's completely locked here, and we're supposed to go around the palace in order to unlock it. But what we can do here is that I can jump through this window frame like this. There's a glass in front of here that I cannot touch. I am pulling aggro these enemies that are trying to attack me. I'm gonna lure these enemies to this button over here, and if I unlock it enough, they will open the door for me. Let's see what happens. And this is completely luck-based. There's no consistent way of getting this first try. So let's see how long it takes. This could be either several attempts or I can get first try. No, it's not working. So this is one of the run killers in the run. It's like you sit here a lot. And these guys are not cooperating with me as expected. So I have to try again. This is gonna take maybe a few minutes, a few tries. Because the enemies are not moving towards the door. I think that's going... No, that's not gonna work. They're really troll. So what happens is that the heroes of the enemies can actually push that button and they're gonna open the door for me. There we go, thank you very much. Okay, that was like a 4 or 6 attempt. That's what usually happens in runs. And sometimes you can get like super lucky, and as soon as you jump up the window, they're gonna push the button right away. And you had to make that good run count. All right, that's the end of this level. We're supposed to talk about a hut here, and now I have my force points, and these are my force points that I unlock thanks to finding all the secret areas in the game or in the level. I'm gonna max out force speed, and also gonna put force jump on level 3. And now we are back on track and being I don't know, Jedi Sonic pretty much, because we are just running fast. Look how Mara's feet are, and the animation of Mara's feet. I'm running like super fast. By the way, this is actually not a glitch. This is a feature of the game. The developers decided that this power is going to grant you this amount of speed, which is a godsend in terms of speed running. Alright, so in this level, I'm making the rounds through the map. I'm just trying to find tracking down a smuggler. So I think this is a very good time for donations. So yeah, Iggy, take it away.
Mucho gusto, Alnak. Yeah, we got ourselves $20 from the KOTOR community. They say, hey, Alnak, awesome to see you on GDQ. Best of luck from your friends at the KOTOR community. Thanks, y'all, for coming in.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
We also have $100 from Bolt. They say, Mysteries of the Sith and Dark Forces 2 ask, what if a Jedi could run really fast? An important question. Best of luck on the run.
Thank you very much.
We also have $66 from SD Bestie. They say, the time has come. Execute Order 66 to eliminate cancer. Yes. It will be done, my lord. Thank you so much. We also have $50 from Cray Age. They say, I'm looking forward to the Zelda block. Let's get that blindfold incentive. Everybody, we are nearly $9,000 away from meeting the blindfold demise fight. We are $5,000 away from getting 900K. Everybody, y'all are doing great. Keep those donations coming in. Let's go.
All right, so here I grab a weapon. It's called the concussion rifle. It does like a huge AoE damage, and it's kind of similar to the rocket launcher. We can just use it to do a few crazy jumps. You saw me doing one there. I'm gonna do one over here. There's one like this. Oh, I missed. I have to try to land on the ledge here. There are a few enemies here that are gonna block my way, so I need to try to do land in a certain part. I have to wait a little bit longer here. Like, no. Okay, and there we go. Thank you. So this is another gun, kind of like the rocket launcher, grants you a little bit of boost. This one deals, oh yeah, I didn't mention, every time I do one of this explosive boosting, I take a ton of damage, so it's very important for you to try to collect a bunch of shields and health across the map. And okay, we found the smuggler, and now he lays us a trap to us, and now we are in prison. So we are stuck here. But here we introduce another force power, which is called Force Pull. This is a single target ability that can allow us to like grab items, and we're gonna use it here to grab the key from this cart. And now we are free to go to whatever. And now we have to escape this fortress. And this part, there's gonna be a huge escape right at the end that involves using a rocket jump. But we have time until we reach that part. If you guys remember the cover art for this game, you saw there's a scene of Mara Jade fighting a Rancor. It's right over, and that scene is right over here. This is a mini boss, the Rancor, and we cannot try to punch him because that's what happens. We just get grabbed and we just die. But luckily for us, we go here. Here's on the lightsaber, and once again, I'm gonna use Force Pull. This is gonna grab my lightsaber, and now I can actually fight this thing. It takes you have to hit him 3 times in order to die, for him to die, and there we go. I'm gonna grab some regen here because, as I said, I need shields and health for the final escape in this level. So there's gonna be like a huge force field that's gonna be blocking our way, and if we do a very precise rocket jump, we can just jump over the force field and go to the end of the level like right away without having to go around the map. So I grabbed the rocket launcher. I went to a secret area in order to get it. Okay, I got it. I had to double check there, otherwise we'll be in trouble. And now we're gonna head towards the skip that I mentioned. So right here, I'm gonna jump. I'm praying that these enemies don't shoot at me, but I think we're good to go. I'm gonna stand here, jump like this, and here's the jump. And right over there is the trigger. Like, you can just do the jump, land in the top of the mountain, and you can just hit the level trigger. And that's the level. Here I don't have to level up anything. We're good to go for the next couple of levels in force powers. As I said, like, only a few force powers I use full in the run. There's gonna be a huge one I'm gonna introduce later, but that's still a few levels away. And the next couple of levels also gonna be like, there's not much going on. No escapes involved, just running fast and trying to not get shot by enemies. So it's all about like health management. So I think it's another good time for donations.
Hey, perfect, because we got ourselves a $250 donation from a wild Chansey appeared. They say gotta go during the Star Wars, gotta donate, go on the Star Wars speed run. Thank you to Alnak, and cheers to an amazing event.
Thank you.
We also have $50 from Hendrik. They say fantastic event as always, excited for some Star Wars. We certainly are too, thank you very much.
Alright, so in this hallway, this can be very nasty. There's a few enemies who are carrying rocket launchers, and they have these rockets that stick to your body, and they take a few seconds to like explode. Oh, there's a little droid here. So we need to use this droid to unlock the next area. It is super slow, but one thing we can do here is trying to push him forward by using diagonal movement. Oh yeah, that's another speed tech in this run. Like many shooters from the 90s, if you move diagonally, you combine like the speed, the momentum, the forward momentum and the side momentum from the character. And moving diagonally, you can actually go way faster than moving straight ahead. And that we combine it with force speed, and that's what makes this run like go really quickly. So I need to finish this level now. Ooh, these buttons are a nightmare to try to press. I'm mashing the key and still I don't hit them. You have to be like right in front of them. There we go. Now this is a zero G section, zero gravity section. It's kind of hard. You gotta be careful here with while you're trying to run and when you are carrying too much momentum. I already mentioned as well, there is collision in this game. If you are running super fast and if you run into a wall, like for example, I don't know, like this, you take some shield ignoring damage. So what happens is that sometimes you are super low in health because the enemies are really they are not behaving, and if you run into a wall, you pretty much die. So that's another layer of difficulty in this game when it comes to trying to get an optimized movement. So this run over here is gonna be kind of tricky. I need to do a certain jump. There's a chamber over here, this red thingy. If I try to just jump like this, also not like this, it's kind of hard to try to go up like this because it takes like forever to try to get to the top. So what you had to do here is try to carry some momentum while jumping, so you can make it to the top like right away. And that jump is like really precise because it's a ledge jump that you had to do. There's gonna be another room like that one, but it's a bit easier. All right. So I mentioned in the first level that there's a mechanic in this game in which if you die, you can still finish the level. Like, for example, your corpse can trigger the end levels. So in this game, it kind of recognizes the body of the character as the end level trigger, and it doesn't care if you are alive or dead. And we're gonna use that mechanic right over here to do a clip. I don't remember how you're supposed to do this part casually, to be quite honest with you guys, but I only know the escape. So what we're going to do here is try to align ourselves to this wall and to this door. I need to be lower in shields. Can you show me? Thank you very much. So I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna use the boost of the rocket to clip through this wall or this door, and the body is gonna make it to the other side where the end level trigger is. And as I said before, it doesn't matter if you are alive or dead. As long as your body or course make it to the end of the level, we are good to go. All right, so here I'm gonna introduce another force powers that happens to the run, and this is called Force Farsight. And Farsight pretty much allows you to do this, to have this kind of like a out-of-body experience. It's kind of like going through spectator mode. But the thing is that we can use it for another cool trick in the run. If I jump and I use Farsight, I can carry a ton of momentum. That wasn't a good example. I'm gonna do another one later on. And if for some reason it makes you go way faster than the speed cap that you get from force speed, and that's a very cool tech. Also, here's another you can jump. This is the bane of my existence. I really hate this jump. This is super precise. You need the complete boost that you get from a force jump and an explosive boosting combined, like this. And also you need to be like in a really good positioning. Oh, and I think no, it's jump is not the timing. As I said, you need to get like the perfect the boost here. There you go. Thank you very much. All right, and now we can finish the level. But as I said, Force Farsight can allow you to run way faster, like this. And also I'm gonna use it here again. The only drawback is that you cannot control your character while you are using that power. So it's only useful in this level, because the rest of the levels, they have very tight corners and corridors. So it's kind of easier to try to just run into walls and die. All right, so now we are finished the game. We are in Drummond Cast. We need to find Kyle Katarn, who has been missing. And I think we're going to find him here in Drummond Cast, which is a planet with a Sith temple. Here I'm going to introduce another force power. This is called Persuasion. And as you can see, it makes you go invisible. And there's another gimmick in this level as well. There is a few lizards going around this map called Salamiris. And these lizards, if you get nearby them, are gonna remove all your force buffs that you have and you are using, like your force speed, for example, or force persuasion, the ability that makes you go invisible. So in this section here, I need to move in a certain part in order to try to avoid those lizards to just making me lose my force buffs. And here we are in the next. Excuse me. So now we are here in the next area. This is gonna be one of the few boss fights you encounter in this game. There's only a few of them. You saw the Rancor, and this is like an actual proper boss fight. So the strat here is that we are fighting like a doppelganger of ourselves, like a dark side version of Mara Jade. And there's a strat we can do here. I'm gonna just turn use Persuasion again, so she cannot see me. And what happens is that she cannot spot me. And most importantly, she cannot parry any of my attacks. And I'm pretty much free to go here. I need to hit her 10 times in order to finish the level, or to progress to the next area. I gotta be careful here because she can start spamming Force Lightning, and it does a ton of damage. But unfortunately, through the levels, I started collecting Bacta tanks. The Bacta tanks are pretty much like potions, so to speak, that allows you to restore a good amount of health. And I use it there to tank pretty much every single force lightning that she threw at me. And that's like the only proper boss fight in the run. There's another boss fight, but we're gonna skip it. So spoilers. And now we're approaching almost to the end of the run already. This is it's an expansion pack, so it's not as long as the base game. That's the reason why this run takes like only like 15 minutes. You are like, the record is around, it's a high 15, so you can finish this in like 16 minutes as well. All right, so we are almost close to the game. This is the second to last level. And this level is very important for me to try to not spam my force powers. There is gonna be a certain part where I need to use again persuasion, the powers that allows me to go invisible, because there are gonna be nasty enemies waiting for me. They are called the Nogris. The Nogris are, wow, an amazing reference to a great trilogy of Star Wars books. And just like those books, these enemies are super deadly. The ones over here, these huge enemies are carrying like these big knives, and they can one-shot you because they do shield ignoring damage, and they also have very huge hitboxes. So it's kind of hard to try to jump over them or get around them. But the fact that they are not spotting me is pretty cool. Otherwise, this level is going to require a few retries. And this is almost the end of the game. This is the last downtime on the run. And I'm going to take the time here to explain what's going to happen next, because the next level, we're going to skip the whole level. There's a major escape at the end of this run. That we're going to use the power that we used in the previous levels, called Force Farsight. And this is going to allow us to skip everything. And I'm going to give you guys like an explanation of what's going to happen, because if I try to do it like, you can finish the level like in 12 to 16 seconds, and that's not enough time to explain what's going to happen. All right, and yeah, time is coming up, by the way, so be ready on that. So what happens here is that I'm gonna go to this platform, this part. You are supposed to go to each of these chambers to, I think you unlock like a keys, I think, and also there's a boss fight that you have to do. And the boss in this game is Kyle Katarn, who has been turned to the dark side because of the being in this temple. But what we can do here, rather than using the running through the map, we can try to do a little escape. You see that platform over there? That's the end of the level. And if I try to just jump like this, I cannot make it, because once again the developers added that falling animation that triggers if I start falling for like a second or something. But we can just bypass that by using Farsight. And Farsight is going to allow me to just land there because it resets the timer of the falling animation. And oh, where's the boss? Oh, this is bad. So what happens there is that I despawn the boss. So I'm supposed to be fighting Kyle Katarn here, who's been turned to the dark side. But unfortunately, I just despawn him. And you might think that I pretty much soft-lock. Well, no. If you have played this game, you know that we cannot kill Kyle in this boss fight, because there's a mechanic that we had to do. As the frame here, or the picture here implies, what we had to do is surrender ourselves, so to give time to pretty much taunt Kyle to try to kill us. So the trigger is not going to be killing an enemy. It's going to be myself turning my saber off. And that's how the game ends. And time. And that's what happens. I put no resistance. Kyle tries to kill us, but he can. And he is redeemed to the light side. So what happened after this is that Kyle decides to quit being a Jedi. He detaches himself from the Force, and he goes by being a smuggler. And that's when Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast begins. So that's pretty lucky, honestly, because what happens is that if you have to kill a boss there, pretty much you soft-lock the game. But luckily, the trigger is my lightsaber, turning off my lightsaber. So that's pretty cool. Otherwise, the skip wouldn't be possible. Alright, so that's Mistress of the Sith. It's a very short run, by far the shortest run on the Jedi Knight series, since it's only expansion pack. But nonetheless, it's an amazing run. And thank you for the opportunity for showcase this game. Unfortunately, this game doesn't have many runners playing. And so the fact that you guys give me the chance to showcase the game for you guys is amazing. All right. Thank you very much. I just want to give two big shouts to two group of amazing people. And first of all, I want to say thank you and shouts to the whole extent of the Jedi Knight / Dark Forces community across all the games. I'm kind of biased, but all these games are amazing. Each game of this series is an amazing speedrun with very good people. And who are like been grinding those games out and finding new skips along for since several years ago. So yeah, shouts to you guys. You guys are amazing. And last but not least, I just want to say thank you to the guys who have been following me since like July. I took a hiatus with speedrunning for a couple of years and came back in July. And as much as cool as it's been, like grinding games and learning new runs, the thing that really keeps me going is the fact that so thank you everyone for hanging out with me for all these months. So yeah, that's it. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the marathon. May the force be with you.
Thank you so much, Alnak, for that incredible run. One more round of applause. Una más. Y bien hecho. Fantastic run. And yes, Mara Jade and Kala Katarn are canon in our hearts. If a certain cowboy-wearing producer wants to make that happen in a series, that wouldn't be too bad. We have Kendra Dasani with their $50 donation agreeing, saying Mara Jade is canon because if she wasn't, my life would be sad. Huge fan of Jedi Academy, so getting to see the first in the Jedi Knight series is exciting. Hashtag save the animals. I don't think we have a save kill incentive this event, so we're just going to say save the animals on principle. Absolutely wonderful sentiment. Thank you so much, Kendra Tasani. All right, we have some incredible Zelda action coming up for you in just a little bit after this break, so do not touch that browser tab. AGDQ 2023 will be right back. Hello again, every puppies. Welcome back to AGDQ 2023 online, raising money for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. We have an exciting Legend of Zelda BS race coming up between Vonnie Vaughn and Ice Blue. Got a lot of excitement for what's going on beyond that as well. $50 donation from Microbial Elf saying, show and demise his place while blindfolded. Count me in. Everyone, you were at $6,100 out of the $15,000, nearly there, and less than $2,000 from $900K. Holy macaroni. Is it going to happen? I should stop asking those questions because I know it's going to happen, but let's get it buttoned up, everybody. Let's keep it moving. Until then, while we set up, we're going to be having ourselves an interview. Jhobz is going to be sitting down with the very amazing Court, Bbrosef, and May, the staff of Frame Fatales.
Welcome back, everybody, to Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online. Thanks for sticking through the break, and thank you, iggyzig, for the introduction. That's right, I am Jhobz, and I am joined by some lovely women of the Frame Fatales committee, I guess. I was going to say community, and they came out as committee.
Not untrue. I mean,
that is not untrue.
We contain multitudes.
I'm joined by frozenflygone, or Court, Corvimae, and Bbrosef. Thank you all so much for joining me.
yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad we were able to set this up and be able to tell, all the people watching who come for every single mainline that we have more events that they can get involved in this.
Yeah, so let's just jump right into that. What is Frame Fatales and what is Frost Fatales that's coming up later?
Yeah, absolutely. Before we get into that, I want to shortly just say what each of us do for people who may not know us. My name is Court. While I'm a prize person here on Mainline, I am the event lead for Frame Fatales.
I'm the tech lead. I make the computers work good.
And I'm the games committee lead. I'm also on the mainline games committee with Court. So I'm responsible for forming the Frame Fatales games committee, developing the schedule, selecting the runs, picking incentives, all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a team of 7 leads that help us run all of the events. So shout outs to those who also aren't here. And so it's been so much fun working together as this team. And Frame Fatales overall is just a all-women speedrunning community for those interested in games and speedrunning. And we get together twice a year to run charity events as well, Frost Fatales and Flame Fatales.
Yeah, we got one of those coming up pretty soon. We'll get into that in a little bit. But why don't each of you kind of dive in a bit more to what you do with Frame Fatales exactly? Like kind of how you came into the role, how that role has kind of evolved and stuff like that. So let's start with you, Court.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been involved with Frame Fatales since we did our first charity marathon, which was Frost Fatales 2020. And since then, I just got, more involved. I love working with everyone in the community so much. And then, eventually I was offered the position of the lead for the entire event. And it is just such a joy to be able to work with not only, the leads who are doing the back-end administrative stuff, but the runners every event who are so excited. They're like, I know so many people who are just like, oh, I'm prepping runs specifically for your event and stuff like that. It's just amazing. And so, as a lead, I kind of try and oversee everything, but also, delegate the work to the other awesome leads and people who want to help out.
Yeah, so Corvimae, how's the tech side of things been kind of evolving over time, or how has it been taking on that project and heading it up?
Yeah, so we're really fortunate in that being, part of Games Done Quick, we're able to kind of build upon what they've already built. And so it's great because we are able to kind of add our own stuff on top of what is being used for this event right now. And we have our own community too, and the Frame Fatales Discord server, we have some stuff that we've set up for administering that, which has been really great. And it's just, in general, there's a lot of technology that goes into putting on an event like this. And so my role within the organization has been to make sure all of that is going swimmingly, and if improvements need to be made to make those improvements. And it's been very rewarding and a lot of fun.
I think something that not everybody knows is that the Frame Fatales events are not just featuring speedruns from all women, but every point of the production, as much as humanly possible, is all women.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Doing everything, from audio technicians, from stream technicians, that whole process.
Yeah, like our entire stream, or our entire control team during the event is in the studio working for the entirety of the event. And so part of my role is to make sure that they have all the information they need, they know what to do, and if anything goes wrong, I'm there to help them out.
Yeah, and I think you all been doing a great job with that. Now, Bbrosef, as somebody who is now on 2 different games committees, what's it like? Because personally, every time I see a new Frame Fatale schedule, it's fire. It slaps. Like, I'm always so excited looking at it. What has been kind of the trick to having such fantastic schedules?
Having amazing runners. We have a very diverse community of women who run all sorts of games and are extremely talented at them. So we have a huge selection, not as huge as like a mainline GDQ, of course, where it takes weeks to pare down a list. But with Frame Fatales specifically, we have a lot of dedicated runners who are also very dedicated to their games and often come up with some really great category ideas as well.
A lot of unique ones.
Yeah, so they make really unique incentives. So I think that's one of my favorite aspects of our game selection is, working with very creative and fun runners that just love their game so much.
Well, we have talked a lot about the events, but to be more specific, Frost Fatales 2023 is coming up pretty soon, February 26th to March 3rd, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
So I'm going to jump into one of our social media questions we have here, because at Shadow Diosama asks, what upcoming runs should we look forward to in that event?
Yeah, absolutely. You can see the full schedule if you just go to gamesdonequick.com/schedule and click on the link that says, are you looking for the Frost Fatale schedule? And you're like, yes, I am. I am really excited to see some of the games that haven't necessarily, been shown off a lot in the past. So we have a ton of just different like indie games that I think show off, something different to bring to the table that you wouldn't have necessarily thought of before. Like, what Bbrosef was saying about how people bring in different category ideas to the table. We have a Super% run of Dark Souls. Is it 2 or 3?
I think
it was 2.
Yeah,
Okay,
Dark Souls 2. Yeah.
So they're just gonna get soup as fast as possible, and that's the run, which is so amazing.
That's just like me.
I'm here for it. Like
That's what I'm really excited for. What are you two excited for?
So obviously I'm excited for both of us have a run in the event, so I'm excited for both of those. And I'm very excited for crosscode no menu glitches. It says NMG, but that doesn't mean no major glitches. It means no menu glitches. It's being run by Epic Yoshi Master, who's a good friend of mine. I was actually a runner in this event who did. She's the runner who did Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which was amazing. And Crosscode is the first game I ever ran. It's also the hardest game I ever ran, which was why it was a questionable choice to start with. And I'm just really, really excited to see it finally be on a GDQ event.
And we just wrapped up with a Star Wars Jedi Knight run. We'll also have a Star Wars Jedi Knight run in our marathon, run by Yui. So I'm really excited for that run because I just absolutely love Star Wars runs.
Those games are always great. Like I've never played pretty much any of them, but I've always enjoyed watching them whenever they show up at GDQ.
You should go play Jedi Academy. It's very good.
I should. I really should. I got to add it to the list at some point. At Amerlin is asking, what games would you like to see more of on Frame Fatales?
That's a really great question. I'm biased as a Pokemon lover. I would love to see more Pokemon runs, but also just kind of different ones. Things like bingo or other kind of things that FF we've traditionally seen. Like, okay, here's a run, any percent. Would love to see some different kind of categories, come out from that. Maybe different races, like the Oras race we had last event was such a hit. So different kinds of categories and Pokemon stuff.
I would like to see more first-person shooters because I am a big fan of first-person shooter runs. And I submitted one this event, didn't make it in, maybe in the future. But every time I see a first-person shooter run, I'm like, man, this rules. Man, I want to watch more of this.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Like I love FPS games and action adventure games. So I also would really love to see more glitched runs. I know No Major Glitches is a more popular type of category that gets submitted, but I just love broken jank games. Like it like makes me happy.
Yeah, fair, very fair, very fair. Well, for anybody who is just now finding out about Frame Fatales and wants to maybe join the community, they're the women themselves at home and going, hey, how can I get involved? How can I join? What can they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you go to GameStoneQuick.com/FrameFatals, all the information about everything that's going on with us is there, including how to join. But you can DM our Twitter account at FrameFatals. You can email FrameFatals at GamesDoneQuick, and we can get you an invite. Or, if you see any of us around, feel free to just, hey, can I join the Discord? I'd love to be involved. I'd be happy, to send you over an invite. And that's to hang out. That's to volunteer for the next couple of events. That's to submit a run to the next event. The Discord's going to be, the best place for you to meet everyone.
And you don't have to be a speedrunner to join the Discord.
Absolutely.
You just have to like games.
Yeah.
Honestly.
If you're having fun watching this marathon, you'll probably have fun watching our marathons and hanging out with us.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're always great. And we actually have an interesting one here on social media from @Cassasaur, who asks, how can people who aren't women best support the group's efforts? If we've been watching from afar, like me.
I mean, you're supporting right now by doing this interview with us, right? And that's a part of it, is just kind of telling other people about us. Telling people, that's the biggest thing we have. Mainline is lucky that every single person on the internet, it feels like, is like, oh my gosh, GDQ's coming up. I'm so excited. And a lot of times it'll be a few days in, and people are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this was happening. So the biggest thing that, any non-women can do is just tell people about this event and what they're excited for.
And the second equally important biggest thing is to watch the events.
Yeah, okay, that's
I promise you they're very good and you should watch them.
Yeah, we're really funny, we promise.
Yeah.
Can confirm. And they're actually reasonable to potentially watch the whole thing because you get breaks in the evening.
It's true.
Yeah, we should say that we are not 24/7. That's because, again, as we talked about, the studio and everyone involved is all done by women, and we want to make sure everyone is ready to do that and prepared. We're training our team. So for now, our days are anywhere between 10 and 12 hours. So yeah, you actually get to sleep in between. Yes. I am so happy for that.
And we get to sleep in between, which is equally important.
Which has not been happening as much.
Unlike now. Well, that's pretty much all the time we have. I hope all of you out there now are familiar with Frame Fatales and decide to check out Frost Fatales 2023. Coming up, again, February 26th to March 3rd. Court, May, Bbrosef, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Thanks for having us.
All right, folks, let's get ready for some more speed runs here at AGDQ 2023 online.
Thank you, Jhobz, and thank you once again, Court, Bbrosef, and May, the mighty Frame Fatales. Remember, save the date, February 26th to March 4th, Frost Fatales. It's going to be a good time. Got to watch it. All right, we got some amazing Hyrule Fantasy Zelda no Densetsu head-to-head action coming up for you. Just a little bit, we are setting up for it. In the meantime, though, I want to take some time, very important, once again, remind everybody why we are here, why we are doing what we do, who we are benefiting. The Prevent Cancer Foundation, founded in 1985, is a U.S.-based nonprofit organization. Their mission is to save lives across all populations through cancer prevention and early detection by focusing their work through research, education, outreach, and advocacy. Their vision's always been to stop cancer before it starts. But, as Ms. Jody from the PCF stated earlier this week, they are embarking on a new mission beginning this year, a world where cancer is preventable, detectable, and beatable for all. You can find out more information about the incredible work PCF does at preventcancer.org. We also have a $50 donation that is we have a $50 donation from Graceful Charity, longtime watcher and donator, but this year hits the cause close to home because a dear friend and mentor of mine was recently diagnosed with breast cancer. Unfortunately, or fortunately, let me turn that around. Fortunately, because of early detection, she is already on the path to being cancer-free. Melissa, you are incredibly strong and such an inspiration. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Thank you so much. I can think of no better cause to help out with this week. Been phenomenal. And all right, everyone, I got a question for y'all. Love asking it when I can. Who here is hype for some Zelda? No, come on, we can do better than that. Let me hear you. Or I guess intensify your typing, I guess. There we go. Y'all are coming in hot. Love to see it. Keep that going as we welcome via satellite, somewhere in the routing, I'm presuming, Vanyavon and Ice Blue for their 100% race of BS Legend of Zelda.